Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I want to talk about Miles Bridges. He's going to be the most improved player of the year, it looks like. I know this is only 4 games, but this man's averaging almost 45% from the three line, okay? 54% from the field. And he's averaging with 25 points a game. He looks like he's at least the second star on this Charlotte Hornets team behind LaMelo Ball. Like, it looks like the Charlotte Hornets have their two cornerstones in Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball, okay? And his PER, if you guys are into that type of mumbo jumbo, it's literally 28.7. And in this game against the Celtics, he didn't shoot amazing. He shot 25% from three. But still, this is a guy who's been coming in. He's averaging over 2 steals a game, okay, and almost a block a game. This is a guy who's one of the premier two-way players in the NBA. There are very few players in the entire NBA who are better than Miles Bridges in transition, in getting a rebound and churning up court and going coast to coast, okay? And Miles Bridges is the perfect running mate for LaMelo Ball because he literally catches lobs. He can, another thing is Miles Bridges is a good passer. I don't remember who was the receiving slasher. It might have been Jalen McDaniels. It might have been P.J. Washington. Or it might have been Cody Martin. But in the game against, I believe, it was whoever they played before the Celtics. I can't even think about it right now off the top of my head. But Miles Bridges had this bounce pass. And when he was at the top of in between the top of the key and the left side of the three-point arc, he was in between that space. Bounce pass to a guy who was slashing towards the basket through the foul line. And it was just a really high IQ pass. And every time I watch Miles Bridges, his athleticism pops off. It's not an elite athleticism, but he is above average, not elite, but almost elite athleticism, but he's so smart with it, okay? And there was another place that I was watching, and I could not believe, just when you watch it, okay? Miles Bridges is so good defensively, and his just ability to go from one side to the other is so good, okay? I just love watching this Hornets team. His ability to be fully engaged defensively and then on a turn of a dime be able to go 100% on offense is just amazing. There's very few players in the NBA willing to do that, okay? I expect him to be a 20-point scorer this year, okay? And if you guys didn't know, Miles Bridges is a guy who's been building this up, okay? And if you look, every year of his career, he has improved, okay? He went from, don't know why my fucking sound turned on, but if you guys look at every year of his career, this is a guy who went from a 7.5 game scorer to back-to-back years being a 13-point game scorer. But the difference between his sophomore year to last year was he went from being a 43% field goal shooter and a 33% three-point shooter to a 40% three-point shooter and a 50% field goal shooter percentage, all with basically the same amount of attempts per game, okay? So it just shows that this is a guy who's gotten better. Miles Bridges is good, and he's the perfect running mate next to LaMelo Ball. And their third star, you could argue, is Gordon Hayward now. And I love it, okay? I love the lineup of LaMelo, Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre, Miles Bridges, and sometimes they're running P.J. Washington or Mason Plumlee. I like it a little bit better with Mason Plumlee than P.J. Washington because I think P.J. Washington and Gordon Hayward in that lineup are interchangeable. But I love that lineup where it's literally Kelly Oubre, Miles Bridges, and Gordon Hayward. 3 guys, and LaMelo Ball. Literally all 4 of those guys can literally switch positions with each other. And I think it's just awesome, okay? I really like this team. It's so much fun. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Am I overhyping our man, Miles Bridges? I just think he's that good of a player. And he's a player that people are just sleeping on. Like, he's a guy who's going to come and help LaMelo Ball lead this team into the playoffs and not be knocked out in the first round, okay? This is a guy who's going to help this team go from what they've been in the past several years, except for this past year where they made it in the play-in, to being a team that people can't be sitting here and think that is a joke, you know? And I really love him. I really do. And I think he's a great player. And this is a great team. And I think James Borrego's a great coach. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. that's basically it for me today, guys. Till next time, guys. Peace out.